This is the Honda Indy 200 in Mid-Ohio. Great start, Colton Herta.
Colton Herta, great jump. Graham Rahal able to go in line with him, but on the outside there, Alex Pagenaud trying to make a move. He's around Kyle Kirkwood, who's now coming back on the outside of 5.
Hello Indycar fans, welcome to Formula Pun Racer. Today is July 13th, 2023. The latest IndyCar round at Mid-Ohio was pretty exciting, wasn't it? In fact, for Andretti Autosport driver Herta, you could say he's been renamed Polton Herta for the second race in a row. In other words, Road America in Mid-Ohio, he started on pole. And contrary to how his Indy 500 was this year, Graham Rahal ended up starting second in Mid-Ohio. Pretty fortunate for the local boy, especially considering, by coincidence, 25 years ago, Colton and Graham's fathers, Bobby Rahal and Bryan Herta, were both on the front row at the 1998 Long Beach Grand Prix. Talk about history repeating itself. In addition, though, things were starting to be really spicy before the race even started, particularly for Simon Pagenaud. During practice, his brakes failed in one of the fastest corners of the race, and he went flying into the gravel trap shown here. Pretty scary, huh? Fortunately, Simon Pagenaud was okay and walked away on his own. Unfortunately, the accelerometer sensors in his ears told them by IndyCar standards that he endured 80 G's of crashing there, so by IndyCar standards he was not fit to drive. So who would replace him in his Meyer Shank seat? It would be Conor Daly, the former Ed Carpenter driver.
Neato.
Coincidentally, 25 years ago, Michael Andretti had a nasty rollover in the same spot, albeit not from failure of brakes, but from somewhat doing a boneheaded move trying to get around PJ Jones, shown here.
2 cars in front of him, slips inside, he taps PJ, trying to pass cars as Michael tried to shoot the gap between PJ Jones and another car in real time. The violence of that crash.
Fortunately, like Simon Pagenaud, Michael Andretti was okay and would race on for the rest of the season. And to think that 1988 Mid-Ohio race was the last time Bobby Rahal would race on home soil as a driver before retiring. When the race restarted for this year, when it was Colton Herta and Graham Rahal taking the green flag, away they went, but further back in the field, for the 2 Swedish drivers, things were about to get quite sourish.
Where's Marcus?
Well, for Marcus Ericsson of Sweden, being from Chip Ganassi Racing, going wheel-to-wheel with his fellow countryman Felix Rosenqvist of Arrow McLaren, well, he was in for quite a ride, literally. Despite the fact that Felix Rosenqvist gave Marcus Ericsson some room in one of the first few corners of that first lap, looks like Marcus misjudged where he was and ended up flying literally over and across Felix Rosenqvist's car. That aero screen once again proving invaluable in keeping Felix safe. Felix was able to continue on, albeit a lap or 2 down, but Marcus, despite the fact that he was able to limp his car back to the pits, his race was run. Once again, another day gone sour for the Swede. The race restarted on lap 6, and Colton Herta continued to lead on, with Graham Rahal close behind. On lap 21, another incident occurred, albeit no damage or any harm done, when Alex Pagenaud and Kyle Kirkwood were going wheel-to-wheel with each other up the hill. Pagenaud had the greater hand, causing Kyle Kirkwood to do a complete 360 spin. No damage, and was able to continue on. 6 laps after Kyle Kirkwood spun around and would race on, Colton Herta would head for the pits for his first pit stop, giving the lead over to Graham Rahal. Then on lap 28, 1 lap later that is, Graham would then pit, ultimately giving up the lead to Alex Pagenaud of Spain of Chip Ganassi Racing, and he would hold on to the lead for a considerable amount of time. But as for the front row starters, Herta and Rahal, unfortunately for both of them, it got very wrong. On lap 54, when Colton came in for his final pit stop, he was just a little too fast coming into the pits, forcing him to serve a drive-through penalty when he failed to slow down in time, as he also got a little sideways coming in, shown here.
There's Renus VK, here is Colton Herta. Now what we're going to watch here is
Shortly after Colton served his drive-through penalty, Graham Rahal served his final pit of the day, But unfortunately, disaster struck as well for Graham Rahal when his car stalled on him, costing him any chance of catching up to Alex Palou, who would continue to increase his lead in both the race and the championship. Scott Dixon would eventually get into second place behind his Spanish teammate. Tough luck for Rahal and Herta, alright. 12 laps from the finish, there was some interesting and somewhat controversial moves going on between the lapped car of Benjamin Peterson of Denmark and AJ Foyt and Pato Ward of Mexico driving for Arrow McLaren. Arrow McLaren's award was definitely on the lead lap, but Peterson was not. And some people think that Peterson should have simply yielded to Award, but he refused. You can imagine this made Award unhappy. Eventually, the young Mexican got by the slow Danish butter cookie, and who knows what might become of it later. Still, considering how upset Award must have been about this, it gives all his fans something big to talk about. When the checkered flag finally flew, it was Alex Palou of Spain taking his third IndyCar race win in a row this season and fourth overall. Scott Dixon, his teammate, finished second, which also thrust him into second in points behind Alex Palou. Will Power of Australia, driving for Team Penske, finished third.
Where's Marcus?
Oh, that other Marcus. Marcus Armstrong, Dixon, Palou, and Ericsson's teammate from New Zealand, he finished ninth. Unfortunately, Simon Pagenaud is still not cleared to drive at Meyer Shank Racing for the next round, which is this Sunday, which I'll get to in a minute. But it's not going to be Conor Daly either. It will be Tom Blomqvist who will be taking over. He's from Britain, but he's also the son of Swedish rally champion Stig Blomqvist. So this should be quite interesting to see as well. Let's see if he can quick up some results, huh?
Not very funny.
Okay, maybe that wasn't really the best of punchlines, but hey, I do the best I can. Not all of them are good, so you have to bear with me on that. Now you're probably wondering, why am I wearing this all of a sudden? Because there are two articles to conclude with. First off, the next round for IndyCars is this Sunday, July 16th in the streets of Toronto, Ontario, Canada. Home soil for the only Canadian IndyCars, Devlin DeFrancesco. We wish you luck in that round, Devlin. Who knows if Lance Stroll will come by to cheer you on, eh? The final article of this video is that recent news has come about that the Indianapolis Motor Speedway's Hall of Fame Museum will undergo an $89 million renovation project starting this October. It should be completed, they say, in May of 2025. So if you're going to the Indy 500 next year, you might be disappointed to know that the museum will be closed for us IndyCar fans, but I'm sure they'll find some ways around it to keep us occupied in the infield with other juicy exhibits and whatnot as we play the waiting game for the Indianapolis 500 to take place. And yes, I'll be going to the Indy 500. I already got my tickets set and reservations and all, so be there or be square for the 108th running of the Indianapolis 500 in 2024. But for the time being, let's just get back to 2023 of mid-July, and let's prepare to see some IndyCars racing in the streets of Toronto. Good luck, Devlin DeFrancesco. Hope you can get your first IndyCar win, eh? So, with that said, thanks for watching my videos. If you like this and others, please like, comment, share, and subscribe to Formula Pun Racer for more racing humor and content, and I'll see you all in the next video. Good luck to all in Toronto. The British Grand Prix review is coming up next. I'm Meyer in Cylinder, firing on all cylinders.